And let me just give some free PR advice to any NFL team out there, any sports team, any league, anybody that actually wants to do something that people will have a chance to react to in a favorable way. Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern is the place where bad news goes to die, not good news.
Seriously.
And this is the kind of thing that should be heralded and rejoiced. You don't drop this one at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on a Friday. The Panthers making the bold move, the desperate move from 9-1 in the draft, and the Bears trading back and getting a haul of picks and receiver DJ Moore. This isn't something that you drop. You agree to hold it until Monday morning. This is something that should take over. This is something that should trump any discussion of the looming start of free agency. It should be breaking right now, not Friday. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. For a league that has otherwise figured out how to work all these angles, it really is mind-boggling that they set this up in a way that it got out at a time when everyone was shutting down.
I was shocked. Shocked won the news, yeah, but Friday, that time, you're thinking, well, I'm going to wind down. Hey, it's the weekend. Let's get ready to have some fun. Wait, what? This is going on? Holy cow. This was amazing. Amazing, really. What a trade for both sides. Good for the Bears. Right off the bat, we know, hey, you got Justin Fields. They got something special. They got picks stockpiled. They got one of the best receivers in football. That, to me, might have been the most shocking part of the trade as far as what Carolina gave up and the Bears received. I understood the picks. I was like, wait, Carolina, aren't we going to draft a quarterback with number one? We're going to give away the number one weapon he's going to have on your new football team? So that was surprising, but good for the Bears. But over the star of this is still Carolina for the move they made to go number one. I think it's something they had to do. They were in no man's land for drafting a quarterback, especially if you wanted the pocket passing quarterback. If you wanted to go that route, you were really in no man's land. So I think this was a necessary move for them. And I don't know. I don't look at it as too crazy or expensive or whatever. For the state of their team, they've been looking for this position. You got to make a big-time move to get the guy you want, and I think they did that.
And it reminds me of what the 49ers did 2 years ago. Even though the 49ers didn't go up quite as far, they got to 3, but they knew it was going to be Trevor Lawrence 1, Zach Wilson 2, and they'd have been happy with either one. Bullet dodged as to number 2, at least so far.
Yeah.
But you have your pick at that point. They moved up to number 3, and it wasn't like Jeff Fisher trying to squeeze maximum drama out of Jared Goff versus Carson Wentz. Heads you lose, tails you lose with that one, but all due respect. But this truly is Panthers moving into the driver's seat. They have the number 1 selection, and now they do the full evaluation and figure out which guy they want. And the wrinkle is they've opened the door because they got the word out to multiple reporters on Friday. Don't be surprised if we trade down. And this is where it becomes a little cloak and dagger. It becomes next level chess. Who do we think the Texans want?
Yeah, that's going to be a part of this.
Could we just do a flip-flop?
Right.
Yeah, could we fall to 4 with the Colts?
Right.
And feel like we're going to get a guy that we'd be happy with. Don't get too cute, though, Carolina. You're finally in position to get a franchise quarterback. They've all said no thank you. All the veterans, the good ones, have said no thank you. This is your chance to get a guy. Don't screw it up. Do the work and find the guy that you think is going to be the guy. Because I think if they would trade out of that spot, Chris, the message would be that we're really not sure that one of these guys is the guy. So we think we could make one of 2 or 3 of them the guy.
Yeah, right. Hey, they're in the position to evaluate and do all that right now, like you said. Yeah, the 49ers were out of the Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence conversation, but that let them be in the Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Justin Fields conversation, now the pick of the litter of those 3. They have the pick of the litter for everything here. So that's the great thing. There doesn't need to be a rush. And yeah, Mike, to your point, in the ultimate, world, it would be that the Colts and the Texans want the same quarterback that the Panthers actually don't want, and now they can start a bidding war to where, oh wait, Texans, you want to go up to number 1 to make sure you get this guy or whoever here? Oh, okay, and then they can maybe be at number 2 and get the guy they still wanted. I don't know. I'm with you. Don't be too freaking cute here. Don't. this is a team really, when you look through it, and we saw it towards the end of the year last year, Mike, and we've kind of been on this. They got talent across the board. They're another team, and I'm not going to say they're quite like Miami, but there's not a lot they need on their roster right now when you kind of go through it. They got some top-tier D linemen and linebackers and secondary players. Receiver, they're going to need some work there, but they got some talent. We know, running back, O-line's okay. So they're a team that's kind of be ready to make that next move, and the quarterback thing's an issue. And, really, I'd be shocked, Mike. I'd be shocked. I'm just going to say this right now because I haven't, put out my quarterback rankings as of yet, but I would just be shocked if it's not C.J. Stroud, right? I haven't gone through all the quarterbacks in the draft yet, but for my money, from what I've seen to this point, Mike, C.J. Stroud is clearly the number one pick. This isn't like, Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson, it's really close, or, Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield or whatever there. Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. I don't even think this one is a conversation. When I broke down the film, I was kind of blown away by C.J. Stroud, and I thought it was really head and shoulders above the rest of the top of quarterbacks, especially when you're talking about in the pocket, decision-making, big-time throws. If that's what you want at quarterback, Mike, which I think is what Frank Reich wants to do, then he's going to be the guy, and I would be shocked if it's not him.
Yeah, I mean, there's concern that's been articulated, and there's some of that in Peter King's Football Morning in America about Reich and a shorter quarterback, and it's something you've said as it relates to Kyler Murray. There's always going to be a segment of the league, from a coaching standpoint, that wants nothing to do with a short quarterback. Doesn't mean a short quarterback can't thrive somewhere, but you got to have a coach that believes in that.
Right.
And when you have a guy who's a former quarterback, it's a pretty tall guy.
Yeah.
And played with
Jim Kelly. Right. Exactly. Right.
Yeah. You've got a baked-in bias for a taller guy, and C.J. Stroud is there at 6'3". Anthony Richardson is the other one that there's been some speculation the Panthers may be interested in. But you know what? In a weird sort of way, and this isn't fair to Richardson, but it's kind of like the Panthers have been there and done that with Cam Newton.
Yeah, I hear you.
And, I mean, he would have to completely blow them away for them to do what would essentially be Cam Newton Part 2.
Right.
He would have to be the guy. I think if it's close, I think they go Stroud. If it's clearly Richardson, then it's clearly Richardson, and so be it. But again, Chris, I think there's another reason that the Texans and the Panthers don't do a flip-flop. It's already conspicuous how the Texans blew their shot at controlling the board by winning in Week 18, and the NFL tries to just ignore the fact that there's a clear connection between tanking and getting yourself in the best possible draft position. I don't think the Texans or the league would be all that thrilled with the idea of giving up something significant to get to number one, because it just invites more chatter about how ludicrous it is to not accept a loss in Week 18 when you've got the brass ring in your hand that is the first overall pick in the draft, when it just underscores how valuable it is when you give up so much to get the thing you could have had for nothing.
I hear you. It's a tough one. It is. It's when you're with a coach like Lovie Smith who realizes, the writing on the wall, he's not sitting there going, wait, I'm going to tank so you guys can get a better pick next year and the next coach can benefit from it. Yeah, thanks, guys. No problem. Right. So that's where it gets a little dicey in the NFL, let alone like we talk about.
And he did it before.
I know.
He did it with the Buccaneers.
I know.
That's what makes it so beautiful.
It does.
And then he got fired a year later.
It is. It's amazing. And then as we've discussed, too, where it is hard in football, too, it's just hard to get guys to stop competing because there is the no guaranteed contracts. And, everybody is watching. And even those guys who are backups or maybe not stars or starters, they're giving it all, their all, and certainly not, going to give up in those situations. So it's a tough one there. No, there's no doubt about it. But yeah, I mean, as it stands now, the Texans are not going to get the guy they want, or at least, they're going to get second pick of the litter because of a 4th and 20, throw it up in the end zone by Davis Mills and company. But Mike, I'm a big fan of the trade by the Carolina Panthers. The Bears, they killed it. They got what they want. I think the Panthers, it was time to, make a move. It was a make a move time. I'm not going to use the phrase I wanted to really say, but I think the time was now, and they were sitting in no man's land.
Now I want to know what that was.
Yeah. Well, it was shit or get off the pot time. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just curious. That's fine.
That's over.
And now, one of the things that resonated from Peter's column last Monday, and he repeated this on Friday, Ryan Poles, the GM of the Bears, had an offer in hand that would have gotten him a first-round pick in 2024, a first-round pick in 2025, plus flip-flop this year. That's not what he got from the Panthers. He got a different package. So there was somebody else out there that was in this. There had to have been somebody else out there that was in this, or the Panthers deal was a first rounder in 24 and 25, and then it became give us DJ Moore, and that's what got this thing over the finish line. But I know how you feel about DJ Moore.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been underutilized in Carolina, in part because they don't have a great quarterback. But Chris, now, DJ Moore in Chicago. You got Chase Claypool in Chicago, who they traded for and gave up a second-round pick to get. Where does he fit long-term in this? When you've got DJ Moore under a $20 million a year contract, is Chase Claypool going to get the contract that he said last year he's a top 3 receiver in the NFL, and he's surely jostling now for his deal? Do they make him play that out? This just becomes a little awkward potentially with Moore and Claypool. I know Claypool's saying all the right things for now, but there's a subtext to this that becomes complicated. You got a quarterback you're going to have to pay, you got a receiver that's getting $20 million a year, and you got another receiver that you gave up a second-round pick to get that is a year away from free agency. They're going to have to figure out what their strategy is for paying these guys or not paying these guys.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Claypool's a big-time talent. I don't think his production at this point is going to give him too much of a pedestal to stand on, right? To go, wait, I deserve to be paid more, right? So, and hey, listen, he's been in some offenses that are tough and not necessarily lend themselves to great wide receiver production either. But those are just the facts of the matter right now. So, yeah, the propaganda machine or the fans behind him, they're not going to be behind him and, wait, I want, $15 or $18 million a year. He hasn't got to that status yet to get people behind him to get pressure on a football team. So I think he needs to put out another year here of, hey, showing he's mature, didn't really, get indoctrinated into the offense last year all the way. There took some time there. But I think the potential, Mike, for what they got there, damn, I look at that and go, whoa. But, yeah, they got some juggling to do. You're right. With that contract for Moore, Claypool, Darnell Mooney, who's a really damn good receiver, but coming off an ACL tear. And then, he's a draft pick by them too, so they like him. He's a talented guy. They got some problems there, but those are good problems to have. They're going to have to figure it out. I'm excited about what they can be on that side of the ball, though. I mean, wow, Justin Fields, Cole Kmet, those 3 receivers, wow, is there some speed and some firepower and some guys that, could do the things we talk about, right, Mike? Debo Samuel, Tyreek Hill types, speed sweeps, reverses, deep posts, screen passes, all of that off of Justin Fields' ability to run. It's going to be a tough formula to stop there in Chicago.
Yeah, a quarterback who is the best running threat in the league right now, plus options that will make him a better thrower.
It's an Eagles formula.
Now, it's kind of like what the Jaguars did last year. The Bears couldn't do it last year. The Bears could tear it down, but they couldn't build it up. Now they're in the build it up phase. And that's the one thing that is the big takeaway from the fact they traded down. It was becoming more and more clear they were going to trade down. Remember, there was that talk for a while, they should take a quarterback with the first overall pick. Well, then, and trade Justin Fields. Well, you found a guy that's pretty damn good in Justin Fields. You don't just throw him overboard after 2 seasons when he's shown the potential to become a franchise quarterback and take a chance on somebody who may never be. And look back to 2018. Look at the drafts for the past 10 years. There's no guarantee that the quarterback you take in round 1 is going to pan out. It is a roll of the dice. So they did the smart thing in keeping Justin Fields, and now they're trying to build around him. And even with the DJ Moore contract, Chris, they still have more cap space than anyone else to go out and spend in free agency. And who knows what they're going to do. Offensive linemen, let's make the blocking better. Running backs, maybe find some, I don't know, maybe they'd use the draft for that. But whatever their mindset is, make the defense better. It feels like they are dropping it into overdrive and putting the pedal to the metal and any other driving cliche that I could think of. That's what the Bears are doing at a time when Aaron Rodgers may be on his way out and he is on his way out of Green Bay. It'd be a stunner at this point if he stays. The Vikings, who the hell knows where they are, and the Lions. Isn't it weird?
The Lions and Bears are like watch out
NFC
teams
North
here.
could be turned upside down where the Lions and Bears take over.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think you should be excited if you're a Bears fan. That quarterback with those receivers, that tight end, O-line needs a little help, but we saw, they can move some people in the run game. David Montgomery's a free agent, right? So they could do that. But between you really look at it and go, man, they can spend a lot of money and stuff on this defensive side of the ball and improve that for Matt Eberflus, who's a defensive guy. And, man, with the draft picks they got over the next few years, they're a team that you look at and go, ooh, they're on the rise. They got a chance here if they do things the right way to build this team to be sustainable and hanging around here for the next 5-6 years.
And it's going to be interesting to see how the betting markets go moving forward, especially if you think C.J. Stroud is the guy at number 1 for the Panthers. It had been Bryce Young for a long time. Anthony Richardson got a pop in the combine, but now Stroud, and if you're looking for value in that proposition, maybe C.J. Stroud's the guy to keep an eye on.
I think so. I would be shocked. I really would. And you know me, I don't, hey, Joe Burrow, the year I went out right away, number 1. Mahomes, the year, number 1. When it's close, you've heard me, him and Hall, and I don't know yet. And I haven't put out my official rankings there, but I'm willing to say that. I've told enough people, too, just behind the scenes. To me, it was not even close. And I got to imagine they're seeing the same thing. And then you add on to the fact, like you talked about, Frank Reich, a bigger quarterback, came from a place with Jim Kelly's big quarterback. That's what he wanted in Indianapolis. I think that's the type of offense he wants to run. I don't think you trade to go up to the number 1 pick as a freak show as Anthony Richardson is from Florida, Mike. He is raw. He's a little risky. I don't think he's a number 1. We trade up to number 1 to get that type of guy. And then Bryce Young, Mike, just real quickly on that, I probably shouldn't be spilling my beans on all this, but I'm going to go down here anyways, how could you not be scared of the size, the height, the lack of weight, right? This is not Kyler Murray or Russell Wilson either. He can't run like them, especially not like Kyler Murray, right? And you listen to a lot of people who are in the know around college football, NFL. It sounded like Bryce Young played in the 180s when it was the regular season. So that's scary, right? And then we talk about size as a skill. And then, Mike, the other thing, Bryce, he's really awesome at playing the game, but there's no elite trait about him. You don't look at him and go, ooh, what a rocket arm, or, oh, wow, he's so fast, or, ooh, he's so big he can hang in the pocket and just make throws with people all around him. There's none of that. So that doesn't speak to the number 1 pick either, Mike. Sorry to talk so long there, but I'd be shocked if it's not Stroud.
The markets have already caught up with this reality. Stroud minus 300 at BetMGM and elsewhere. With Bryce Young, I'm looking at FanDuel odds here, plus 300. Anthony Richardson, plus 450. So one of those 3, the first overall pick. Now, look, there's still that possibility of a flip-flop.
Yep.
Colts-Texans. The Colts become the Stroud team. Texans become the Bryce Young or the Anthony Richardson team. Colts become, another option too. But then you got to worry about that. See, if you're the Panthers, don't go down to 4, because then you got to worry about the Cardinals trading out of 3, and the picks go quarterback, and you're stuck unless you love 4 guys.
Yeah.
Or you have 4 guys and you can't really pick one, and you want to let somebody else pick the first 3, and you'll just take whoever is left. But that's not the way you get a real payoff for what you gave up to get yourself in position to get the first overall pick in the draft. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.